Right, good afternoon. This is Rachel from Lion Learners North Lincolnshire, and it's the first of our week's Animal Cam videos. Now this week we've got a slight change with our videos. We're not going to be live every day, but you will also find us here at 2 o'clock on Wednesday and at 2 o'clock on Friday this week. And this week we're looking at the Year 4 science curriculum. So today, Wednesday, we're doing Year 4 science. Now today is food chains. Just want to apologise for the noise in case you can hear. We've just had a lawnmower start up next door. Brilliant timing, but I think we should be all right. Right then, so here we can see a simple food chain. Now food chains show us that animals and plants need each other to be able to survive. So all plants and animals need energy or food, and they get it from each other, of course. A food chain shows how energy moves between plants and animals. So here we can see the grass gets eaten by the rabbit, which gets eaten by the fox, of course. I'm sure you all remember Peter Rabbit, and he was always on the lookout for Mr. McGregor, wasn't he? Now food chains always start with a plant, so we call the plant the producer because it produces the energy or the food for the rest of the food chain. So in this case, the grass is the producer. Now plants are really clever because they make their own energy from the sun, but animals can't do that, of course, just like us. So they need something to get their energy from. They need some food to eat. So there are lots of animals, like the rabbit, of course, who like to eat grass or other plants. So we call the rabbit the consumer because the rabbit is the producer. Now let's have a look at our lovely rabbit here. Here we've got the lovely Jemima again. She's hopping over to eat. There we go. She's got some dandelion leaves now. So rabbits do like to eat grass, of course, and lots of other plants. She's loving that, isn't she? So a rabbit is a herbivore. They only eat plants. The rabbit is the consumer and the plant is the producer. Look at her gobbling it up so quickly. She does not want to have to share these dandelion leaves with her husband rabbit when she goes back home to him. She's eating very fast indeed. So rabbits only eat plants, and they would eat lots and lots of grass, lots of dandelion leaves and other weedy plants. But that's not the end of the food chain, is it? Let's go back and have a look. There we are, we've got the grass, the rabbit, and then we've got Mr. Fox here. So foxes like to eat rabbits and other small animals, don't they? So they are also a consumer, and we call the fox the predator. The fox is the predator to the rabbit. A predator is an animal that wants to eat another animal to get its energy, its food. So the fox is the predator, and we call the rabbit the prey. The rabbit is the fox's prey, and that's what he wants to eat for his tea, amongst other small animals, of course. Now let's have a look. If we move this out of the way, we've got a bit more of a detailed food web here. So we can see the rabbit on this food web with an arrow coming to it from the grass and the plants, because we know that the grass and the plants are the producer and the rabbit is the consumer. The rabbit is a herbivore, just eats plants. Yum yum. But then from the top of the rabbit we can see the arrow coming round, this time up to the top. Who have we got up here? It's not Mr. Fox, but this time it is an eagle. So the eagle here is also a consumer. The eagle is a predator and the rabbit is its prey. Now of course an eagle wouldn't just eat a rabbit. We can see up here at the top of the food chain, an eagle would eat any small animal or smaller bird that it could find. So it might well eat a lizard, it might well eat a snake. The eagle is a top predator, an apex predator. There we go. Now on this food web we can see everything comes from the plants, doesn't it? The plant starts off the process after it's produced its own energy from the sun. And as well as rabbits eating those plants, there are loads of other animals that eat plants. Loads of other herbivores and lots of omnivores as well that eat plants and meat. So another example we've got on this food web is the mouse. The mouse likes to eat plants. There are lots of small rodents. I've tried to use a food chain that's relevant to our country because a lot of our science focuses on animals that we don't find in our country. So this food chain pretty much focuses on our country. There aren't many eagles around where I am in Lincolnshire, but we do have eagles up in Scotland, don't we? So we've got lots of small rodents that are herbivores that like to eat plants. We also have small rodents like shrews who are omnivores and eat plants and other animals. So a shrew would eat the plants and maybe crickets, grasshoppers, little insects that it could find to eat. And the mouse has a predator, doesn't it, on this food web? And the mouse's predator is a snake. So the mouse is the prey and the snake is a predator. Let's have a look in here and see if our snake's going to talk to us today. Now, when we pop our snake in here, he often disappears underneath this paper. He likes somewhere to hide. I'm just going to pop my camera down and we can see if he'll come and say hello to us. So he's not in his hide. He is right underneath his paper. Are you coming out, Francis? Let's have a look at you. Just quickly, there we are. So in this country, if we're thinking of our food chain as being a UK food chain, in this country we have grass snakes and we have adders. We don't have corn snakes like Francis, but he would live in America in the wild, in the USA, and he would be found in the cornfields, because in the cornfields he can find lots of food. So he can find lots of mice, lots of small rodents. He would maybe also eat a bird, especially a chick, or possibly a frog or other amphibian that's the right size. The important thing for a snake is that they're finding food that's the right size for them to eat, because they do eat their prey whole. So the snake is a predator. Of course he is. He's a carnivore. He only eats meat. So he has to find some prey to get a meal. And snakes don't eat very much, very often, because they're reptiles. They don't need as much energy as we do, but also when they eat, they have a big meal. So once they've eaten, and Francis would maybe have 2 mice in one go, and then he wouldn't eat again for maybe 9 or 10 days. A snake can go a very long time without eating anything at all, which is good in case it has a time it can't find much food. Also in winter, the snake would often brumate. That means he doesn't hibernate, but he slows his body right down. He only does what he needs to do. A lot of snakes don't eat much at all in the winter time. But he is a predator. And his prey would be small rodents, birds, amphibians maybe. But what happens after that? Is he a top predator, or would he get eaten by another animal? We'll say bye-bye, Francis, and we'll have another look at our food web. So yes, of course he could get eaten by another animal. Many snakes might find themselves being prey as well as the predator. So the eagle would be the consumer of the snake as well. Now also on this food chain we can see the cricket there up in the middle. The cricket would eat plants, but then of course the cricket would have lots of predators too. There'd be lots of animals interested in eating the cricket, and one of those might be a lizard. Just going to lift my lizard up here and pop her on here because I think we're having connection issues, so we'll stay still for us. So this is Mindy. Mindy is a bearded dragon lizard, so we wouldn't find her in the wild in this country. We've been looking here at a common lizard, native lizard species that we do have here in the UK. Now a common lizard likes to eat lots of insects, so they are a predator and the insects are their prey. Bearded dragons are slightly different. She would love to eat insects, but she is an omnivore, so she would also eat plants. On our food web we would have a line coming directly from the plants to the lizard and from the cricket to the lizard, because they have other sources of food to give them their energy. You're not talking to us, Mindy? There we go. So in the wild, a bearded dragon would live in Australia. They are only native to Australia. She is a pet lizard, of course, so we feed her on crickets and mealworms and locusts and plants as well. She eats some salad and she eats lots of nice. So she is a predator, but she is also prey. We have the eagle as the predator. There will be lots of big birds, hawks and things in the desert where she would live. That would be a predator to poor Mindy. And that's why she's capable of sitting very, very still, because she wants to be able to hide herself. She doesn't want to be noticed, just in case there is a predator around. But she's quite safe here, thank goodness. So there we are. We've had a good look at food chains. Producers, which starts at the bottom, that's the plants and the grass that make their own energy from the sun. And then the consumers, the animals that eat the plants. So some of them are herbivores, some of them are omnivores. Lots and lots of animals survive by eating plants. And then lots of other animals, predators, carnivores or omnivores, that like to eat other animals. Right, we will be back on Wednesday then at 2 o'clock with some more Year 4 science. Have a good day everybody, bye bye.